To start your piece, pick 3 or 4 different patterns and colors of fabric that look pretty together. Then cut 2 7 by 7 inch squares and 2 10 by 7 inch squares. You'll also need a 7 by 7 inch square of foam batting and a 10 by 7 inch square of foam batting. Finally, you'll need a long strip of fabric cut about 2 inches wide. This will be the border of your piece. Sandwich the square piece of foam batting between your 2 square pieces of fabric. Match them nicely and go ahead and pin them together. Do the same with your rectangular piece of foam batting and your rectangular pieces of fabric. To quilt our piece together, we're going to sew 3 simple lines. In order to make the lines evenly spaced, mark them at 1 3/4 inches, 3 1/2 inches, and 5 1/4 inches. Mark them along the top and the bottom, and then if you like, you can draw straight lines down to sew on, or you can just aim to sew a straight line on your own and point your foot towards the bottom mark. Do the same for both pieces. Sew through all 3 pieces of fabric right along the lines that you've drawn. Once you've quilted your pieces together, it's time to make the border. You need a strip of fabric that is about 2 inches wide and 34 inches long to create the main border of your piece. First, get this strip of fabric, fold it in half widthwise, and iron it. You'll also need a 7-inch strip of fabric for the top of the pocket. Fold it in half widthwise as well and iron it in half. Now, for both strips of fabric, open them up and take the edge and fold it into the center line, and then iron it down. Do the same with the other edge. Now fold your piece in half again and iron one more time. First, we're going to sew the 7-inch piece onto the 7 by 7 inch square. Fold the border piece over the top of one edge of your square. Pin it in 1 or 2 places to hold it down. Now double check your border and make sure that it's even and folded over both sides. And go ahead and sew it down. Now, place your smaller quilted piece on top of your larger quilted piece so that the bottom edges match up. We'll sew a simple pocket shape around the bottom piece, leaving an opening at the top to put your hand in. If you're new to sewing and you'd like to make a right hand turn, make sure that your needle is down in the fabric, lift the foot of your sewing machine, and spin your piece. Now we'll attach the outside border of the piece. Once again, sandwich the border around the edge of your completed pocket. Go ahead and pin it in several places. If you situate your pins perpendicular to your sewing line, then you can sew right over the top of them. For the outside border, it's best to start with one edge at a time. So first, we're going to go ahead and sew a line down and stop right before we get to the corner. After you've sewn down one side of your border, stop at the corner and pinch it in so that you make a neat fold. Pin that and go ahead and sew that piece of border down. When you get to the next corner, do the same thing. When you reach the last edge of your piece, take the excess fabric, cut it approximately a 1/4 inch from the edge. Open it up and cut each piece at an angle so that your center looks like a little arrow. Fold your arrow point into the center until it matches up with the seam on the edge. To complete your piece, you can use a little ribbon folded into a loop to sew in the corner so that you can hang up your potholder.